Hello everybody, my name is Marlow and today I'm going to show you how to build this starter survival house in Minecraft. Now this build may seem familiar to some of you, and that's because it's actually my starter house from the survival series I had a little while ago on my channel. I built this in episode 1, which was nearly 2 years ago now, and ever since that video I've had people asking me for a tutorial on this one, so albeit a little bit late, here it finally is. I do just quickly want to say that the design that I'm going to be showing you in this video is ever so slightly different to the original one. I've just made some very minor improvements to make the build look a little bit better. Here is the full materials list of all of the items that we're going to be using in this build. The top row are all of the oak variants that we're going to be using, and then the row underneath here, as well as the spruce sign, are all of the spruce variants that we're going to be using. We then have some more main building blocks, and then the rest of these items here that I'm just scrolling over are all of the miscellaneous items. If you don't have all of them, it's not that big of a deal, don't worry. Something I do just want to mention quickly, these 12 cornflowers just represent any type of flowers to go inside these flower pots and on top of the coarse dirt. And then lastly here on this bottom row, we just have all of the helpful survival items. There is one small addition you need to make to that resource list, and it's either going to be the items on the left of the screen or the items on the right of the screen. It's going to depend on what you want to put in the second level of the house here. In my survival series, I turned my second level into a bee farm of sorts. It was fresh when 1.15 was just released, so bees were the whole new thing. I understand they're not as exciting anymore, so it may not be what you're looking for. If it is, then you want to choose the items on the right hand side of the screen, as that's what we're going to need to make the bee and the honey farm. But on the left hand side of the screen, it's going to be all of the items to make a pretty simple storage room, which may be more suited to most survival players. Once you've picked out a location to build this in, the first thing you want to do is place down your spruce doorway in between two stripped oak logs, just like that. This, of course, is going to mark the front of the house, how you actually get inside. And once we've got this done, we're going to leave a gap of 2 blocks and place another oak log either side of those. And then we're going to go around to the 2 sides here, leave a gap of 1, then leave a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 this time, and then another gap of 1. We can do that super quickly over here too. So 1, then 5, and then another 1. And then as for round the back, we're going to leave a gap of 1 either side, and we should be left with 3 in the middle. And once you've got all of these plotted out, you can then bring them up by 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 more for a total of 6. With all of the pillars in position, the next thing to do is to go around from the top of all of these logs, placing in some horizontal beams, just going all the way around, placing them in from one to the other until you eventually reach the other side, and you should have, once I get around, something that looks like this. Now what we can do is come to the 2 sides of the build, so the longer sides here that have the 5 wide gap in the middle, and we're going to place an upside down spruce stair on either one of the top corners, and then have a line of spruce slabs going all the way across. We can then add a spruce trapdoor on top of this block, and we just want to alternate between having a trapdoor and not all the way across, so we get something like this, which we can also super quickly do round this side as well. Now you can come around to either the front or the back of the build, and we're going to start by placing down 2 upside down spruce stairs once again on the corners of the blocks, just like that. Then we're going to have 2 regular stairs just coming off the side. And then what we can do, just pick one of these for now. We're going to have a full plank, then a stair, and then an upside down stair. And we want to repeat that 2 more times, just like this. So full plank, stair, and then upside down stair, and then on this last block we're going to have another just stair on top to give us this shape right here. We can very quickly do that on this side too. And we're left with 1 gap in the middle where we can have an upside down stair just like that. So this is the shape of the roof outline, but now we can quickly just come down to this level right here where we're going to have a spruce trapdoor in front of this upside down stair just like that. And then we're going to alternate between slabs and trapdoors until we get over to this side here. And then above it, on top of the trapdoors, we're going to have some spruce slabs, and on top of these slabs, we're going to have some spruce trapdoors. So we get something that looks like this, which all of this that we've just done can now be copied round to the other side here. Continuing on with the rest of the roof, we're just going to come round to one of the sides here. Doesn't matter which one at the moment because it's both going to be identical. And we're going to place down 2 logs on these 2 spots right here. So 3 blocks away from that spruce plank. And then there should be 3 blocks in the middle. We're going to bring these up so that they're 4 blocks high, just like this. And then we're going to have 2 upside down spruce stairs on top of them and 2 spruce stairs out the back. We can have 2 slabs on top with 2 full planks next to them and then an upside down spruce stair in the middle. We can also go ahead and stick a chain underneath this upside down stair with a lantern just underneath it. We can then grab some trapdoors for this next step, and we're going to add in next to this top log an upside down stair here as well as over on the other side, and then 2 stairs at the bottom on these 2 spots, and then we want to fill the rest in with spruce trapdoors. So there's 2 at the top and the bottom, and then we're going to have 2 on either side just like that. Flip these up and you get a nice little archway leading into the top half of the house. Super quickly, I'm just going to add in a line of oak planks going all the way across the top at the middle of the house, just like this. Now we're going to fill in the rest of the roof here. So just beside this thing we built, we're going to add in 3 oak planks either side and then 3 stairs on top of those. And then we're going to do the same thing above it, starting on this plank. So have 3 of those, 3 the other side, and then just the stairs on top. And as you can see, all we're really doing is where we have a spruce block, we're having oak blocks next to it. As for the next level though, we're going to add in a line of planks going all the way across this time, not just 3 on either side. And then we're going to have a line of stairs on top of that, just like so. And then we just want to have another line of stairs connecting to that middle column. Then we can come back down here and we just want to connect this part of the roof to the main part of the roof. So we're going to start off by having 2 stairs here on either side just to curl those round. And then we're going to have 2 slabs here, 2 slabs here, and then we're going to have 6 planks there in the middle. And all of this can now be copied round to the other side here as well. With the roof all done, all we need to do now is add in something that looks like this to the front and the back of the house. So as you can see, I've already done it round the back, but let me show you how to build it round the front. So we're going to start with a line of white terracotta along this bottom row, then have 1 here either side, then 3 just next to it, and then 3 more across the top. We can then have 2 here on either side and then 1 in the very middle, leaving us with 2 open gaps. Now we just need to hop inside the house and we're going to have our oak trapdoor placed down and flipped open. And then we're going to, on this section, have 2 stairs either side, 1 upside down, 1 regular, and then 2 spruce trapdoors on those spots, giving us something that looks like this. So now you want to come around to the front of the build, and what we're going to do is step inside real quick and add in a stair here just above the doorway with 2 spruce fences on top of it. Now what we can do either side of the doorway is add in 2 spruce fences, and then we're going to have 1, 2 and 3 slabs just like that to make this nice archway awning in front of the doorway. Now we can grab 4 coarse dirt and we're going to add them in just like that, and we're going to turn them into flower beds. So cover the front up with spruce trapdoors and just place some flowers on top, looking very nice and colourful. Now we can step inside and we're going to make some windows in these gaps here, but obviously we can't use glass because we're working with a 2 wide section and it just wouldn't look very good. So instead we're going to make some shapes with some spruce stairs and how they're orientated. So we're going to start with 2 full blocks behind the coarse dirt, and then we're going to have 2 stairs here facing into each other just like that. And you may have to get some temporary blocks for this next step, but we're going to have 2 upside down stairs just above it like so, giving us this big square window. And then above that we're going to do a similar thing, just this time with 2 immediate upside down stairs, so that when we look back from the inside it looks like this. this, a little bit like the letter I if you want to look at it that way, and from the outside it looks like this. All we have left to do is add in 1, 2, 3 and 4 upside down spruce stairs. Now we can come around to the back of the house here, and we're going to start by adding in 4 spruce stairs, 2 regular and 2 upside down, just like this. And we're going to add in 1, 2 and 3 spruce fences in between them. The next step is to get 3 coarse dirt and line it like so, with 3 spruce trapdoors in front. Then we can just grab a flower and stick it in the middle like that. Leave the 2 on the outside because we're going to be having some more spruce fences, just like that. Now we want to step inside the build here, and behind these side spruce fences, we're going to add in 6 white terracotta, just like that. And then we're going to add in 3 spruce planks along the bottom here, just next to the coarse dirt, and then some more next to all of these fences. Then we can step outside and have an upside down spruce stair at the top, 1 at the bottom, and then 2 glass panes right there. And lastly, we're going to have a chain and a lantern. Moving on round to one of the 2 sides here, it doesn't matter which one, they're both going to be the same. The first thing we're going to do is add in once again 2 stairs on the bottom and 2 upside down ones on the top on these 1 wide sections. Now on the side where we have the white terracotta, we're going to have 3 spruce fences, and on the side where we have the spruce blocks, we're going to have 3 oak buttons, just like that. Now on this middle section here, we're going to add in 1 block back, so on this block starting, 5 along the bottom, spruce planks, 4 up the top, just like this, and then 3 more in the middle. So basically, we want this 5 by 5 square, leaving us with a 3 by 3 area in the middle to make a big old window using some glass panes. And then just below those glass panes, we're going to have 3 coarse dirt with some pretty flowers or ferns on top of them, and we're going to cover the front up with some spruce trapdoors. We then want to have 2 spruce stairs in the 2 corners, just like that, with 3 spruce trapdoors in the center. Underneath these 2 upside down stairs, we're going to have 3 spruce fences, and then we're going to add in some barrels on these spots. But I don't really like the top texture of the barrel when it's purely decorative, so we're going to dig down a block here and add in an upside down barrel, just like that. Instead of the top texture, this one, you get the underside texture, which I personally think looks really nice when incorporating it into a build. And now, as you may have already started, you can go ahead and copy everything we've just done there round to the other side too. With that side all done, the exterior of the build is completed. We're now ready to head inside and start work on the interior. First things first, we're going to go ahead and grab some full spruce planks, and we're going to chuck them on top of these upside down stairs here. What we can then do is turn around over to these corners right here, and the first thing we're going to do is just place 2 torches or some other lighting block underneath there, so that we're not going to get any mob spawning, because what we're actually going to do is place down 4 strip spruce logs in front of them, closing off those sections here, so you don't want a zombie spawning in there and groaning all the time. It'll be really annoying, trust me. So once those are added in, we're going to add 2 full spruce planks on top of them, just like that, with 2 upside down spruce stairs off the side of them, just like so. We can also add in 2 more upside down stairs on these 2 spots. Then we want to switch over to our spruce slabs, and we're going to have 5 of them going all the way across from one upside down stair to the other. Then we're going to add 4 more here on either side, just like this, and then 4 more over here, just like that, leaving us with this 4 by 3 gap that we're going to fill completely in with some oak slabs this time. And that is our ceiling all completed. As you may be able to tell, the next step is to remove all of the blocks here on the floor, and we're going to fill it all out with some stripped dark oak logs. But before we do that, we need to break a couple more blocks. So when you walk into the house here facing this side, we're going to go ahead and break 1 and 2 of these blocks right here. This one can become an upside down spruce stair, and this one can become a double chest. This will make sense later on. It's basically going to be a hidden away storage place. So now we can grab our stripped dark oak logs, and we're going to have one here in the middle facing towards us with two on the sides just like that. Now the way we're placing all of these down is in a checkerboard pattern, a crisscross if you will. So basically the idea is you always want to place the log down on the side of the log, never on the front. So you're just placing them down on the side, and then you kind of alternate as you go along, and when it's all done you should end up with something that looks like this. With the exception of furnishings, that is the downstairs all done. So we're ready to head upstairs now. So we're just going to add in 5 ladders here either side of the doorway, and then on top of it, once we get up here, we're going to add in 1 and 2 spruce trapdoors. We're going to have a stair in the middle with 2 stairs either side, curved round to the side, just like that. And then facing this, we're going to have 2 more stairs here, then 3 slabs in front, giving us this little thing here, allowing us to go up and down, whilst also being able to close it off. We also, before we start anything else with the ceiling here, we just want to fill in these blocks here with some spruce planks. With the ceiling, you can kind of see we have 4 identical corners, so I'll just show you how to do one of them. We want to add in 2 upside down stairs, just like that, with 2 above it, and then 2 on the side here, giving us a bit of a smoother shape. It virtually looks the same, it's just smoothened out, so then we can go ahead and do that 3 more times. There we go, that's already looking a whole lot better. All that we have left to do is to add in a line of upside down oak stairs on these 2 spots right here, and that is the ceiling all done. Now we can head back downstairs, where the first thing we're going to do is place down a chain and a lantern in the center of those 2 ladders. And now we can make our hidden chest actually hidden, plus make it look a little bit nicer. So the first thing you can do is actually just get rid of these 2 dirt blocks and replace them for some spruce planks. Just looks a little bit better that way. Not that you're really going to be able to see it, because we're actually going to add in an upside down stair above it, so you're just going to be able to access the chest on that little corner block right there, and you should be able to open it because these 2 are not solid blocks. But we just want to put a lantern once again on top of this stair, and we're going to add in a sign just like this, a spruce sign with an item frame, and then if you just click on the side of the item frame here, stick an oak slab in there, and it looks a little bit like a set of drawers, or a single drawer I should say. Over here on this side, we're going to have our bed right in the middle with a crafting table and a flower pot on top of that to the side of it. And then to the left hand side, we're basically going to make a bit of a pile of barrels, I guess would be the best way to describe this, just for some storage. So we're going to have 2 regular barrels here just beside the bed, and then we want a sideways barrel facing into our hidden storage. Then we're going to have a barrel facing towards us once again, and an upright barrel here, then a barrel facing this way. So it kind of is a bit all over the place, then all facing the same direction. I think it just looks a little bit better. And then lastly, you just want to go ahead and place in some spruce trapdoors on top of them. Over here, just in front of the right hand side window, so the opposite to our hidden storage, we're going to have a blast furnace in the middle with 2 regular furnaces either side of it. We're going to have a detector rail here on top of this furnace, which might be facing this way. I think it looks a little bit better if you can have it facing sideways, just a personal preference. But we're going to go ahead and stick 2 stone pressure plates on top of the regular furnaces, just like that. Then we can turn around and come over to this corner right here, just to the left of this thing, and we're going to have an anvil in that corner with a stone cutter in front of it. And then this seems a little bit dangerous just to have inside of a nice little cozy home. I know it's not, you can step over this as much as you want, but I think it just looks a bit cooler if you fence it off with some iron bars. So we'll have 4 here and then 1 just in front. You're still going to be able to access all of this, but it just looks a little bit protected. We're going to make a bit of a shelving unit just beside the barrel stack here. So we're going to start by placing in 2 spruce trapdoors on those spots right there, so on top of this block. And then we're going to have a trapdoor here on the top of that lowest barrel, and then we're going to have another one here on the bottom of the top barrel. So we should get something that looks like this. where from the underside of this top trapdoor we're going to have a bell and we're going to have an item frame on the floor. I am going to put some raw beef inside of this item frame, and you may be asking why, and that's fair enough. It seems a little bit weird. Well, in my survival series, I tamed myself a wolf and I stored him. Stored is maybe the incorrect word. I placed him, I sat him down, whatever you want to call it, in that corner there. So I got my good friend, what did we call him? Sting, I think it was, in my survival series. Tamed him and gave him a nice little comfy carpet to sit on, put him in the corner there. And the idea with this is, when it's time to eat, I can ring the bell and he would run on over and snack on his food. That's what that's meant to be, on top of a plate of some kind. Obviously, he doesn't do that. It's not really in the wolf mechanics, but it's just a fun little idea. If you don't want to add that in, that's fair enough. You can switch these out for anything you would like to. It is entirely up to you. The final thing to add in down here is simply an armor stand on this spot with something on display. Maybe your first set of iron armor you acquired, if you're able to take it off in time before it actually breaks. So here we are inside of my actual survival world, and I'm only in here to show you one thing, and it's this. Something I'm not going to be showing you how to do. I'm not going to do a tutorial for this room, it's far too big, and I'm also not going to show you how to build this redstone machine to shoot you back up and fall down into it. So why am I not showing you how to make this redstone machine? Well, the simple answer is, I am not good enough at redstone to tutorialize it. As you can see, this is some messy redstone. I don't really know exactly how this works. It kind of all got pieced together a bit all over the place, and I just got a bit lucky, so I'm not going to show you how to scramble this jumbled mess together and hope it all pans out. Instead, I'm going to point you in the right direction. So you can do one of two things. A, you can type this into the YouTube hotbar and you should get something very similar, or you can head down to the description below and I'll find a tutorial that will show you how to build a very similar mechanism. And once you got it all added in, you can decide what you want to add in to the underground part of your survival base. If you haven't already, now is the time to decide if you would rather have the bee farm or the storage room up here on the second level. To begin with, I'm going to show you how to build the bee farm, the same thing as what I had in my world. So the first thing we're going to do is grab some campfires, and along these back 5 blocks, the opposite to the ladders coming up here, we're going to have some campfires, and then we're also going to have 2 more here either side. Now this is just so we can smoke out the beehives that are going to go on top of it. That way the bees aren't going to get angry when we harvest the honey. We also need to add in 2 oak planks in the corner here just to fill in those spots, and we do need to cover up these campfires. So on the 2 side ones here, on the farthest out one, we're going to have a regular spruce stair, and then the other one here is going to be curved round to the side just like that, so that when we put the other 3 trapdoors down, you're not going to be able to see the campfires. So just make sure you have this and not this, for example. To the side of the campfires here, we're just going to have 3 coarse dirt, and we're going to make a flower bed out of this. So we want to cover the front with some trapdoors, and then you just want to place some flowers on top to give the bees a place to collect pollen from. And on the side of the coarse dirt here, we're just going to place in a barrel either side and then a double chest next to it. And this is where you can store all of your stuff related to the bees. So if we just label the chests here, over this side can be where you have your honey bottles, and maybe your empty bottles can go in the barrels. I believe that's what I did. And on the flip side here, this is where you can store your honeycomb. You can maybe put shears inside of this barrel. So there we go. That is how you build the bee farm up here in the loft. Now, if you want the storage room, stay tuned. I'm going to take all this down and I'll show you how to do that afterwards. So with the storage room design, we're obviously not going to have the campfires lighting the room, so we do need to add in some more lanterns. So we're going to look up to the ceiling here and go in by 1 and 2 blocks and add in 2 chains with a lantern, and we're going to do that on both of the sides just like this. Then we can grab our chests and 2 barrels, and we're going to place a barrel just in the middle of this circle archway thing on either side with a chest to the side of both of those. Then we're going to go ahead and place down 2 double chests stacked on top of each other, making sure you place them on the side of the chest just so they connect like that, and we're going to do it in all 4 of the corners just underneath the 2 upside down stairs. And all that's left to do as far as placing chests is concerned is we're going to have 4 more double chests just like that, and in the middle a crafting table with an ender chest on top. So that's all the storage. I'm keeping it pretty simple. This isn't meant to be like your end game storage room. You're probably going to need something bigger than this eventually, but for the meantime it should be enough, and if you need more you can expand it in very simple ways just like that, and you can go up here and so on and so forth. There's plenty of room to add in some more chests. However, I do think it's quite helpful to label your chests, so how we're going to do that, on the corner ones here, we're just going to put them on the side like so. So there are 8 item frames. And then I'm going to group all of these together and just put an item frame in front of the barrel. Maybe this is where you could store your bulk cobblestone, for example, and all of your wood could go over here, just to give you some ideas. And then lastly, we're just going to stick 4 more item frames like that. So there we go. That is the storage room all done, meaning the house is entirely complete. So thank you everybody so much for watching this tutorial. I really hope it's helped you out, and I am very sorry it's taken me a really long time to get round to making this video. I hope it was worth the wait. But thank you once again, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.